YouTube, Gallagher123123 back with another video taking a look at the Victor Reader Stream 3. And in this one, we're going to take a look at something in the recently released 1.1 update that, well, I think a lot of you are going to like this. In this video, we're going to take a look at managing voices. I'll show you a few things to be aware of and how it all works. So let's get into it. So with the Stream 3, at least in the default US configuration, the two voices you have are, well, actually, let's have the stream tell you what the two voices are. Sharona.
Will.
And Will. And those are the two voices that come by default with the US firmware. And as you may recall, in version 1.0, you could not change to have Will read your menu and system prompts. You could only change to Will for content reading. Well, this has changed in 1.1. So let's look at that first, and then we'll look at completely changing the voices. So if we want to change to have Will read our menus, what we want to do is press 7 to open the menu.
Menu, no local settings, general settings.
Okay, perfect. We're on general settings, which is actually what we want. So we're going to go ahead now and press the confirm key, which is pound.
Language.
And language, of course, this was here before. Let's go in though.
Download language and voices.
Now this is the new option. Download languages and voices. Now, this is where we need to go if we want to switch our menu system voice. So in this menu before entering here, we could have always changed our content voice. So if I press 6,
select content voice, Will.
We can change our content voice, which is currently set to Will. But now to change our menu voice, we're actually going to perform something that is called a voice swap. So let's press 4 to go back to
download language and voices.
Download language and voices, and I'll press confirm.
Change menu voice, Sharona.
Now you heard it say change menu voice, Sharona, and this would be what we'd select if we wanted to actually replace the voice, replace Sharona with another one online. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes. But we want to press 6.
Change additional voice, Will.
And this is the same thing if we want to change the additional voice. But what we want to do in this case is press 6 one more time.
Swap voices.
And we now have swap voices. Now when we press confirm on this, we're going to be asked if we want to do this. So I'll do that. I'll press confirm.
Confirm voice swap. Press pound key to confirm or any other key to cancel.
And so it's telling us to confirm it. Of course, we do want to do this voice swap. So I'll press the confirm key.
Shutting down. Please wait.
And you'll notice it's powering down. So it should be off now. Okay, there we go. And now, when we boot up the Stream 3, I'll go ahead and do that. What you'll notice is that now all of our messages and menus are now spoken using Will. Or they should be. We'll confirm that momentarily once this finishes booting up.
Welcome to Victor Reader.
Okay, there's the startup message. Glad they kept that. That's such a classic, iconic announcement, I would say.
Talking books. 38. Books. 6.
The history of the computer.
Okay, let's go into this book
People,
and press confirm.
inventions, and
But notice...
The history of the computer.
Press pound to silence that again. You'll notice now that, sure enough, Will is reading that information. So, for instance, we go into our menu now at 7.
Menu. No local settings. General settings.
I actually quite like how he sounds there.
navigation and playback,
Bit slow though.
wireless, recording, online settings, general settings, leaving menu,
Okay. And let's just have him tell us our battery.
battery powered, 95%, downloads info, Wi-Fi not connected,
Now that's something to note. I meant to just point that out, that I did have airplane mode turned on when we did that voice swap. But now we're going to move on to something a bit more fun. What if we didn't like Sharona or Will? Or we wanted to try something a little different? Well, we now are able to do that with 1.1. So I'm going to first turn off airplane mode by pressing and holding the online key just above the number 2.
airplane mode, off,
All right, it says that airplane mode is off. I'll just give it a minute to connect. Sometimes on
Wi-Fi connected,
Oh, there we go. I was going to say sometimes on first boot, Wi-Fi does seem to take a few seconds longer. Now, just again to remind you all, currently for voices installed, we have a press and hold 7, which remains a way to switch between your 2 voices for content reading.
will,
So for content reading, we have Will
Sharona.
and Sharona. So you could have Will read your menus and Sharona do the text, or of course you can have Will do them both. So, but what if you didn't like either one of these? You wanted something different. Well, let's take a look at how this works. I'm going to go into the menu with key 7.
menu, no local settings, general settings,
Turn this up just a little bit.
volume 12,
There we go. All right. So let's press confirm to go into general,
language,
and again to go into language.
download language and voices,
Download language and voices. Let's go in here.
change menu voice, will,
Now you'll notice here now that it says change menu voice Will, and our additional voice
change additional voice, Sharona,
is Sharona now. So we've reversed them. That's what the
swap voices,
voice swap did. Now if we did this again, it would put Sharona back as our primary voice and Will as our secondary. So that's kind of a good way to think about it, is primary and secondary voices. And to change them, you want to do a swap. But there is a bit of a caveat, and we'll come to that now in a minute. And actually, I guess we'll kind of get to it now. So you do want to give this some thought. So acapella has a very nice new American female voice that I quite like for the menus. But I'm also finding I still do like Will for reading. So we have to think about this now, because we can download that voice that I like, and I'll show you her in a minute, in either one of these slots. However, what we want to do is keep Will. So we have 2 options here. We can either do the voice swap again, so that would mean we'd have Sharona doing our menus, which would make it a very quick replacement process, or we can select to replace our additional voice at this point, which is Sharona. And that's the method I think I will use. So what I'm going to do is press my 6 key to get a sense of where we are.
change menu voice, will,
And like I said, I want to keep Will, so we're not going to do that yet. But I'll press 6 again.
change additional voice, Sharona,
Now, I'm going to press confirm on this.
Arabic,
And we can install different languages here. But this is where I mentioned there is a bit of a caveat with version 1.1. If we go back
change additional voice, change menu voice,
to
will,
change menu voice and press confirm,
English Australia,
you'll notice it goes right to English. So you cannot change your system language, but you can change your system voice. So if you would like a British voice, for instance, you can do that. What you cannot do is change your system voice to a Spanish option.
Change menu voice. Will.
So what we'll do though, in this case, it's Sharona I'd like to replace. So I'm going to press 6.
Change additional voice. Sharona.
And we'll go into change additional voice, press confirm.
Arabic.
And we'll press 6 till we get to the English options. And I'll go into each English option to let you hear all the names of voices that we can pick from. We have some nice options now.
Check.
Okay, let's keep pressing 6 till we get to English Australia.
Danish. German. English Australia.
Okay, there it is. So if we press confirm,
Lisa.
we can get Lisa
Tyler.
or Tyler.
Lisa.
Now, the typical install for most languages seems to be one male voice and one female voice, which I think makes a lot of sense. But of course, you could decide,
Tyler.
maybe you'd like 2 male voices, and you could get Tyler. Now, we're in the option to replace our additional voice, so Sharona would be replaced by Tyler, and Will would continue reading our menus when the install is completed. You'll see how that works momentarily.
English Australia.
So, those are the 2 voices we have for Australia.
English United Kingdom.
For United Kingdom, we have 3 voices.
Graham.
We have Graham,
Rachel.
Rachel,
Peter.
and Peter.
Graham. English United Kingdom. English India.
For India, we have 1 voice,
Deepa.
and Deepa is her name.
English India. English Scotland.
English Scotland, we have
Rona. Rona.
Rona is our option there.
English Scotland. English North America.
And finally, here's English North America. And this is what we want. So let's go in here.
Lily.
And for US English, we have Lily,
Sharona.
Sharona. We already have her, so we wouldn't want to re-download her.
Ryan.
Ryan,
Will.
and Will. And again, we already also have Will. The voice I'd like to install
Lily.
is Lily. Now, she is a new a cappella voice, and I really like her. And I especially love how she sounds reading the menus. Now, like I've said, I'm trying not to be too repetitive, but right now, the way we're doing this is we are downloading Lily as our additional voice. So what we're going to need to do in the end, if we want Lily to read our menus, is to do a voice swap again. So let's go ahead though and start step 1 of this and get Lily downloaded and installed. Let me just make sure I'm focused on her.
Sharona. Lily.
There she is. I'll press confirm.
Downloading 1%.
And it is downloading. Now this can take a few
Downloading
minutes,
5%.
but actually it seems like it's going to move at a decent speed.
Downloading 10%.
Oh yeah, okay. Now,
Downloading
this
14%.
to me is really cool because in the past with the Stream 2,
Downloading 18%.
the way you got different voices was downloading a package
Downloading 22%.
on the HumanWare website. And
Downloading 26%.
so you couldn't really customize it to get voices that you'd be happy
Downloading
with.
31%.
So for example, on the Stream 2,
Downloading 35%.
I was thrilled when they added an option to get Sharon,
Downloading 39%.
which was one of Acapella's newest voices at the time,
Downloading 44%.
when they added the ability to have her in 2015.
Downloading 49%.
This is moving pretty well. That's good.
Downloading 53%.
But that package
Downloading 58%.
included Heather as the additional voice. So you could not have
Downloading 62%.
Sharon and Ryan. And there's nothing you can do about that.
67%.
If you wanted Sharon, you are getting Heather as your additional voice.
Downloading 73%.
So, and there was no way to customize that you could have a male voice to go along with
Downloading
Sharon.
77%.
But now we can easily
Downloading 82%.
get a customization that we'd like.
Downloading 86%.
And what's cool now is it's very easy to get some of the
Downloading
UK
91%.
voices. Okay, this download is almost done.
Downloading 95%. Installing voice.
Now, here we are, installing voice. Now,
Installing voice.
when this process is done, the stream will shut itself
Installing
off.
voice. Installing voice.
Unfortunately, there's no progress here, but it is very assuring
Installing voice.
that it does tell you it's installing.
Installing voice. Installing voice. Installing voice. Installing voice.
Okay.
Installing voice.
Trying not to talk over this, so you'll hear what happens when it's done.
Installing voice. Installing voice. Installing
Now,
voice.
Lily is a bit bigger, so that's what's probably taking this a bit longer.
Installing voice. Installing voice. Installing voice. Installing voice.
This is taking a while.
Update complete. Shutting down. Please wait.
There we go. Update complete. And now we're shutting down. And we're off. So, I'm going to go ahead now and power this back on. Okay, we're booting. Now, you'll notice that Will is still going to be our system voice. However, I will demonstrate when this is booted that we'll be able to switch now with the 7 key between Will and Lily.
Welcome to Victor Reader.
And then I'm going to go back in and show the voice swap process again, because I really like Lily as my system voice. Now, again, the reason I didn't just install her as the right away into the system voice is that I would have
The
lost
history
Will
of the
then.
computer. People,
And
inventions,
I
and
liked Will. I like him for reading, so I wanted to make sure I kept Will.
the history of the computer.
Okay. Just silence that a bit. No. So Will is here, but if we press and hold 7...
Will.
Okay, so it actually did select Lily for us as content voice, but let's press and hold 7 again.
Lily.
Now, before we switch over and have her do the menus as well, I'll let her read a little bit. So let's go into the manual. Sorry, I don't have anything more interesting to pull up right now.
Entering user guide.
Now, my personal opinion is if you were a fan of Heather on the stream too, then you may find that you like Lily, because she doesn't sound the same,
Victor Reader Stream User Guide.
but she kind of has a similar, I would say, sound. So let's let her read a bit. Okay, she is.
You can choose
oh,
to
there we
turn
go.
on or off any or all of the following time intervals: 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes. Only the time jump intervals you turn on will appear in the up and down, keys to or right navigation menu when playing books. 6.2.2 Save last used navigation level for each book. Select this item if you wish to save your navigation level for a book you are reading. With this feature, when reopening the book, the current navigation level remains the same as the one configured before closing it. 6.2.3 Audio Adjustment Mode. When you listen to audio content except music, this option permits to toggle between tone and pitch. By default, the option tone is selected, indicating that if you do short press few times on the power button, you will be able to adjust the tone, along with the speed and volume.
Now, just to give you a sample, I will do a bit of reading as well.
Will.
All right, so I pressed and held my 7 key again to do that. Let's hit play.
Dot. If you toggle the audio adjustment to pitch and then do some short press on the power button, you will be able to adjust the pitch along with the speed and volume control. 6.2.4 Loop. If you select the loop mode, playback will play repeatedly. It will automatically restart again at the beginning when reaching the end of a book. 6.2.5 Music. 6.2.5.1 Random and Loop. Select this menu to...
Okay, so that's a sample of Will. I'm going to leave him selected actually for content voice for now, but I'm going to exit the user guide by pressing and holding the 1 key.
Exiting user guide.
Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get Lily as the menu voice. And I'll let you hear a bit of what that sounds like. So let's go back into our menu, 7 key.
Menu, no local settings, general settings.
And we're on general, that's what we want. Press confirm.
Language.
That's what we want again, press confirm.
Download language and voices.
Now, actually before we do that, so if we go to the right with 6.
Select content voice, Will.
This is another way we can change our content voice.
Select content voice, Lily.
And I'm pressing pound.
Will. Court content voice, Will.
Lily.
Select content voice, Will.
Okay, we have Will now. So I'll just leave that, but let's press the 4 key.
Download language and voices.
And go back in here with confirm.
Change menu voice, Will.
Okay, we don't want to go here because we don't actually want to change the voice necessarily.
Change additional voice, Lily.
Same here, we don't want to do that. But if we press the 6 key one more time.
Swap voices.
Here is our swap voices. Let's do this, press confirm.
Confirm voice swap. Press pound key to confirm or any other key to cancel.
And it's telling us to press confirm to confirm this. Let's do that.
Shutting down. Please wait.
And it has told us that it is shutting down. Perfect. We are shut down. And let's boot up again.
Welcome to Victor Reader.
Okay, we should be up and running any second now.
Talking Books, 38, Books, 6.
The history of the computer. People, inventions, and technology that changed our world. by Rachel Ignatowski.
Okay, so we are now booted up. And I'll just press confirm to go into this book.
The history of the computer.
And now I'll let you hear a bit of Lily as we navigate. So let's go into our menu.
Menu. No local settings. General settings. Navigation and playback. Wireless. Recording. Online settings. General settings. Language. Download language and voices. Select content voice. Lily.
Okay, actually I do want to set that to Will, so I'll do that while we're here.
Select content voice. Will. Braille translation table. English Duxbury grade 2. Select encoding. UTF-8. Language. General setting. Leaving menus.
So she cannot say leaving menu, and I find that kind of funny actually. But other than that, I like her for this. Now, occasionally
Volume
she
11.
is a bit laggy though.
Volume 12. Volume 11. Volume 10. Volume 9. Volume 10. Volume 11.
But I've just...
Wi-Fi connected.
Oh, there's our Wi-Fi. I want to go ahead and turn airplane mode on because I really don't need it at this time.
Airplane mode on.
Alright. So airplane mode is now on. Very cool. So that is a look at voices in 1.1. I think a lot of you will be happy that this option is finally here. I know I was very excited to have a look at it. And there are some great choices. I actually really also like some of the UK voices. Like Rachel, I find her very good as well. In fact, I tested her a little bit doing the menus and system prompts and quickly liked that as well. Tyler, an Australian male, is great. I actually really enjoyed him for reading, but I got a bit tired of it, so I put Will back on the system. But it's great that we can do that just by going into a menu. And the downloads are relatively quick. The installs can take a few minutes, but, you know, I think you wouldn't do this every day. I mean, once you have your two that you like, you kind of stick with them. I mean, you know, aside from a little while ago when I removed Lily and put Sharona back, I wanted to start the video with the voices that we've always had. So I reinstalled Sharona to make that happen. But aside from that, I've been using Lily ever since this update came out about 10 days ago. So it's, you know, been really awesome. So I think that's the big thing I wanted to cover in this video. Now, I do want to make one note. If you've been following the channel, you will have noticed that we had started a series comparing the Stream 2 and Stream 3, and I hope you all have been enjoying that and getting a sense of whether or not an upgrade might be worth it. I know for me, I love my Stream 3, but I do have a few more of those recorded, and I'm going to watch them again to make sure that the information is still good, but I was running, of course, 1.0 in those videos, so I'll likely probably add some kind of disclaimer to them, because stability, I would say, has been improved quite a bit with 1.1. So anything that you see in those videos, because I do want to use them if I still can, you know, they may have been fixed, some of the things I ran into in those. So it's important to note that. I am going to do one more video at least on 1.1 though, because there's another awesome feature, so stay tuned for that. But I think for now, that's it for this one. If you're not already, please subscribe, like the video if it was helpful to you, and turn on notifications because I have some really cool stuff planned and you won't want to miss it. So, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. video.
We hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, please subscribe for more, and feel free to comment. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, at Gallagher123123. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.